I thought wasn't what it was. So and to say that is one of the reasons that I do what I do. Why I go around and I talk to young people to let them know not to get your mind locked in on one specific thing and thinking that that's all it is.
Don't be a victim of the circumstance.
Don't be a victim of the circumstance. Don't let your community dictate to you who you are, because the hood might be dirty, but only a rose can grow out of dirt. You gotta have dirt in order for the rose to grow. So just because we're in bad situations, don't let those situations dictate to us who we are, because
who you can be.
Yeah,
you can be.
Yeah. Potential. Yeah, absolutely. And so you moved out to LA, and as I was reading your book, and by the way, it's an amazing book. You have to go pick this up. Freeway, Big Boss, The Untold Autobiography. It's an amazing book.
Thank you, man. I wrote that book for people to open me up, you know what I'm saying? And get to know me, and also, I didn't just want to open myself up, but I wanted to open up the whole drug business. I wanted to let them know, like, hey, if you're thinking about going into drugs, this is what you're getting into. This is what is going to be the outcome, and this is what's in the middle. Yeah, you're going to get cars, you might have this, you might have that, but at the end of the day, this is usually how it turns out.
Not too many people get out like Ron O'Neal. He didn't get out,
No.
It wasn't Superfly. Not everyone ends up getting out the game. So
you read the book.
It's funny. I just watched the new one, which is terrible. Even though the acting in the original was pretty bad, it just doesn't compare. But I love the analogy that you were giving in the book, because it's true. You want to. Part of living in this country is it's an American dream. You're trying to make the best of what you have, and you try to make as much money as you can and live free and comfortable. And again,
because you ain't free in America if you don't have the dollar.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. And that's really just the honest to God truth.
Man, keep it 100.
Yeah. Well, with money comes respect here. If you don't got money, they won't look at you twice.
They won't even talk to you.
Yeah.
And you said in the interview, and I wholeheartedly agree, if they don't respect you, they respect your money. And it's true. At the end of the day, they're not going to respect you, but they respect your money. But you know where those people stand.
Exactly. And at least you are getting some respect.
Yeah.
When you don't have any money, you don't have nothing going for yourself, they're not going to give you any respect. So you got to figure out a way how you can be effective in the economy.
Word. So you came out to LA. And as I was reading, you're kind of depicting the life that you had with your mom and her brother, and how you said that living in that circumstance, and most people that grow up in the hood, what they see becomes a reality, and it just becomes the norm. So at a very young age, you were
no doubt. That's your reality.
Yeah. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing different. But you saw the violence that happened. So to you, it was what it was. And then, you kind of tell the story of when your mom had to defend herself and you essentially, and she ended up shooting your uncle, your brother. So can you tell us how that experience and how that kind of turned out for you?
My uncle had, we were living with my uncle and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So he had almost become like a father to me, because I never really knew my father.
Mm-hmm.
And for my mom to shoot my father right in front of me, and I'm sitting there listening to him gasp for air as she ushers me out of the room when the incident happened. And then to have her taken to jail was like, and I'm in California, now I'm out here with strange people, but my brother didn't come out, he stayed in Texas, so it was like, could have been traumatizing, I don't really know, I couldn't read or write till I was 28 years old in prison.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out, why couldn't you read and write? You know what I'm saying? Why did you start to feel that you were stupid and dumb and all this other stuff? And when I started to analyze my life, I was like, when you're 3 or 4, you should be learning your ABCs and getting ready to learn how to read. But here you are worrying about if your mama gonna come back home, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't care about no reading and writing. I don't know no ABCs. I don't know what they doing in school. I don't when is my mom coming back?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When are we gonna be back together? So when I sit down, I was writing this book, and that's why writing is so therapeutic, man.
Yeah.
Because you have to go back over your life and relive these incidents and just visualize what took place. And when I did that, it taught me so many lessons, you know, about me and about people and how we go through our own trials and tribulations.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually, I'm not sure if you know him, his name Alex Alonso. He has a Street Gangs.
Yeah,
Street Gangs, yeah.
Oh, man.
All right, so we sat with Alex probably about a month ago. We did an
A
interview.
little bit more,
with
yeah, a
him.
little bit more.
Yeah. He interviewed me like as soon as I got out.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
I was 09, right?
Yeah. We did a dope interview too.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and one of the conversations that we had with him was how in the hood, black and brown, getting mental help, you know, it's a stigma, so you don't think about it. So you saying that, you know, it took this long before you were able to come back, and you know, you wrote, and it was therapeutic. You know, it just resonates, man, and it shows that there's so many kids right now at this very moment going through what you went through, what we went through, and there's just no help. There's no way
No
for them to
doubt.
manifest and understand, like, okay, you know what, this is how you manifest all that anger and things that are going in your
But
life.
then you try to figure out where they come from.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
You're like,
Well, I mean, just living through some of those things, I mean, this term gets not used appropriately in those terms, but PTSD is very real when you
man.
see,
Come on, man.
you know, people getting shot in the streets.
come on.
I can't sit with my back to any door.
The last book I wrote was called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah. I found I was suffering from that shit.
I believe it, man. I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah, man, and so many of us are, and you know, and what you were just saying with the black and the brown dislike for each other. I used to sit there and I was like, where did it start?
Yeah.
Who was the initiators? You know, and then what was they thinking about when they started it? You know, what took place for them to start disliking each other? You know, and then feed that to
The rest of it.
thousands and thousands of
Yeah.
other people who had nothing to do with that situation, who wasn't there, who don't even know what the conversation was about, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it could have been about as little as a soup,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, because it more than likely it started from jail,
Yeah.
you know. And I seen dudes in jail fight over a microwave,
I believe it.
a football game, you know what I'm saying?
Cigarettes, anything.
A pack of cigarettes,
Yeah.
a stamp, you know,
Yeah.
or who was next in line.
Mhm.
And then so many thousands and thousands of other people had to suffer from this one incident, you know. I went to prison, I was illiterate, but I didn't come out that way. Before I got out of
Yeah.
prison, I read over 300 books.
Wow.
Right.
And it talked about people who took habits from their grandparents
Mhm.
and never asked their grandparents why they did it.
Yeah, this is what you're talking.
It just was taught, and then they started to take those habits and make them their own. And so many times, that's what happens with human beings. We take habits, good or bad, and we just make them our own.
It's interesting because, you know, as you were a young kid and then you transition into middle school, which always kind of just trying to understand it always kind of boggled my mind. So I had this question: you grew up in a concentrated area full of just Crips, and Hoovers to be specific.
No doubt, no doubt.
You know, and most people, if you grow up in that environment, most likely you're gonna get put on, right? So how were you able, and what actually caused you to not actually say, you know what, I'm not gonna go that way?
You know, I wanted to be a Crip when I was about 11 years old. I thought that I would be a Crip.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was something to do, you know. But I got lucky. I started playing tennis, and I fell in love with tennis. And by the time I was old enough to join a gang, I had formed a different personality of what I thought about games. You know? And it was like I grew up with him, man. We used to go to elementary school together. I gotta fight him because he wears red. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't think so. You know, and I held my ground. You know, I was old enough to, you know, when I came back from tennis, when everybody found out I couldn't read or write no longer, I was 18 years old, and I was a man, and I wasn't gonna let no kid or no man acting like a kid dictate to me what I should do and how I should do it, and I refused to participate in nonsense.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's a true testament to you, because a lot of people just fall in that without even, you know, it doesn't take much. They get pressured and it just kind of is what it is. And so you went to Dorsey, right? And that's where you kind of started playing tennis, and you had that love to, that's where you kind of grew from, right?
Yeah. I fell in love with tennis. Well, you know what? I was always looking for a way to make some money.
Yeah, and you know what? You mentioned that because I think one of the first ventures that you had was buying the meal ticket and then flipping them at Dorsey.
Oh, that was later. That was later. I had cut grass before that. I used to hustle bottles. I used to get my guys when we were like 12 and 13 and organized car washes. So I always been an entrepreneur. I just didn't know the word for it. But I always wanted to do that, and for some reason I've always had an ability to organize people, you know, to get people to cooperate with each other, to socialize,
network.
Network. You know, I've always had that. I don't know where it came from, and to me, I'd be like, why everybody can't do that? Nobody don't see the benefit in cooperation. You know what I'm saying? Cooperation.
It's just it's one of those things that either you got it or you don't. You got it, and you got it.
I think anybody can have it. I think anybody can do it, but you know, the first thing you got to do is that you got to know that it's worth something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, if it's something that you don't feel is worth anything, worth your time, then why would you even entertain the idea of cooperating? You know, it's like, for what? You know, I ain't gonna get nothing out of it. You know, most people, they looking for instant gratification. You know, how can I get some money right now? How can I benefit today? And if it's not that way, then they don't want to participate.
Well, just that alone, that goes kind of back to what I read in your book. You kind of, I don't want to say work for free, but you work to learn.
I've been working for free for 9 years. Since I've been out of prison, I've been working for free.
But prior to you actually getting into the actual, you know, Ready Rock game, you know what I'm saying? You were like, from what I heard, because I listened to it on Audible. Gotta make moves, gotta do things, gotta keep moving.
It's all good. Just get the information. It don't matter how you get it. Just get it.
It was clear that you were always thinking, like, if I can learn it, then I can do it for myself.
Absolutely.
And that's different kind of thinking. That's a definitely entrepreneur, really big time thinking. Rather than small
doubt. Well, you
time
jumping
thinking.
ahead of the game.
I am. I'm skipping ahead a little bit. I thought it kind of
No, you're good. But I'm just saying the way you just announce it, you kind of like allowing yourself to leap the business. Because say for instance, if you go into say for instance right now, if I hear people always talking about, I want a job. If I want a job, I just go to the supermarket and start sweeping the floors. Start pushing the carts around, and you know, that first thing the manager might say, well, you know what, Rick, we don't need no workers right now. You know, we're gonna give you a bag of chips, you know what I'm saying, because you're hungry, and a bottle of water. And then he gonna see me again. I'm sweeping the parking lot, you know, washing the windows, and pretty soon he gonna say, man, you know what? Somebody just quit. I'm gonna give you his job. You here, you the first one here every day. You're the last one to leave. And basically what you're doing is you're paying your dues.
Yeah.
You know, so often we don't want to pay dues. We want to go straight to the top. You know, we want to be the boss, and we don't know nothing. Listen, why should somebody pay you when you don't know nothing?
Yeah.
Let's go out and learn what it is that we have to do, and I guarantee you'll leapfrog the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So after you tennis is out, you're back home trying to figure out what you want to do.
Lost.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit?
Confused.
Can you tell us a little about how you started getting into the car business? You started getting into, opening up your own shop, and again, how that started.
When I came back to the hood, all of the homies, that's what we call ourselves homies, they were low riding.
Yeah.
Low riding. Some smoked PCP, some smoked angel dust, and all of them was just about smoking marijuana. So when I come back to the hood, I hadn't been hanging with my partners, who I grew up with in elementary, junior high school with. I hadn't been hanging with them. I dedicated myself to becoming a tennis pro. And they didn't want to be a tennis pro. That was the furthest thing. But they wanted tennis. They used to laugh at me. So when I come back, it was like a new world. You know what I'm saying? Smoking weed, and all this other stuff. So low riding. So I started going to the street races with them.
Okay.
And going to the street race, I'm seeing the chicks, and I'm like,
yeah.
chicks? Oh my goodness. And what I found out is that the chicks like the cars. It wasn't necessarily the dude that they like, it was the car they like. So I said, man, I gotta get me one of them. Both of them, the chick and the car, right?
Oh, you were thinking you gotta get one before the other, right?
Yeah, get the car
get
first.
the car first.
Yeah, you get the car and you don't get the chick, you know what Scarface said.
Yeah. First you get the money, then you get the power.
And you ain't gotta worry about the chicks, they gonna chase you.
Come to you.
So that was my thinking, man, and so when I get to the street races, I'm like, wow. And then I'm like, how these guys paying for these cars? So me being myself, man, I start going around the dudes with the cars, asking questions. Hey man, how much that paint job cost? How much the wheels cost? Where you work at?
And this is late 70s, right?
Yeah, like 79.
So what were they throwing at you? I mean, for a paint job now, especially for low ride, because I know it's a lot of money. I mean, just now it costs a lot of money.
Back then, you could get a Duro Coons paint job for like $350, $400. Michael McLaurin. Those are two of the best painters in LA at that time. They were painting a lot of. Duro Coons used to paint all the professionals. I don't know if you ever heard of professionals.
Yeah.
They was a pretty big car club at the time. And Mike used to paint Watch Life and those guys.
So you go out there, you start seeing all these dudes, and you're like, shit, how do I get? How y'all get this?
How you get that car? How you go up and down? I'm asking all the, cause I'm green. I'm totally green. I've been really sheltered for like 7 years. Matter of fact, man, my best friend in elementary and junior high school just got out of prison. 2 months ago he came out.
Wow.
So I'm like 40 years, man. 44 years or something. He went to prison when we were like, well, we had separated after the 9th grade. So I think he may have been in prison even when we went to the 9th grade. Man.
Wow.
My dude did like 35 years, man. I don't even know what crime he committed, but he was a gangbanger.
Yeah.
He was, he
could have been anything.
Could have been anything, shooting, killing, robbery, but these are dudes that I was hanging with, even when they executed Tookie, and I was in federal prison with a life sentence, and I was starting to write my book, I thought about how lucky I was because I used to look up to Tookie.
Yeah.
And it was a time that if Tookie would have came and said, Rick, come on, let's ride, I would have rolled.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I thought about how lucky I was that somebody put a tennis racket in my hand at a young age and gave me the opportunity to where I would be old enough to where I could actually think to decide, from stupidity to making logical decisions.
Yeah, so that kind of helped you out, right? Kind of saved your
Oh
life
my
in a way.
goodness, yes, man. Tennis was a blessing to me because, I probably would have been, if I would have gangbanged like I sold drugs, I'd have been, woo-wee. Oh my goodness. They probably would have been, the penitentiary wouldn't have been big enough, you know what I'm saying? Been like, man, bury him up under the penitentiary. So, I was fortunate that I got old enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna make money out of this thing.
Yeah.
And then even after that, after I started making money, that I had the wherewith to a lot of times pass violence up when other people thought it was necessary.
Right.
You know, but by me being a critical thinker, I was able to say, you know what, nah, we ain't killing him.
So was able to get you off of that because you were in, they knew, all the cars were in there, but because of the illegal search and seizure,
yeah, it was technical then though. You know, back then they were pretty much going along with the Constitution. Illegal search and seizure. You know, when they started the drug war, they threw illegal search and seizure like
yeah. Because those don't apply to black and brown.
No,
the Constitution doesn't.
Not right now, especially not with the feds. You know, they say they don't even knock on the door no more, man. They just go busting in. So at that time, we still had a little Constitution, you know, where they were still, judges were still holding up like, oh, you didn't get a search warrant to go in the house. No, dismissed. Case closed. You know, now it'd be like, oh, well, he didn't get a search warrant, but he had proper cause because he believed something was going on, and you know, the law clearly says that the cop's not supposed to come into your house or your business without proper cause.
He smelled marijuana in the air. You know?
Yeah, that's right. When they search your car and seize it, it was a roach on there. It looked like a roach.
So we pulled him over.
Yeah.
So you get out, right? You go back. You go right back to the chop shop.
No, I couldn't. I was on bail. I got out on bail. I didn't beat my case first. I was out on bail, and then I was kind of stuck. Like, man, I can't do nothing to make no money. And I kind of got hooked on that little money, you know. I was probably making like $300 a day, you know, doing that. So that ain't bad money back
in the 70s.
Yeah, and especially, you know, you're talking about an 18, 19-year-old kid who ain't never had nothing. So I was kind of messed up. And then my boy went to jail for burglary, so he was locked up. And my man Mike come by one day. No, he called me, and I go over to his house, and that's when he introduced me to cocaine for the first time.
Okay. And this was straight just powder at the time. This is all. So what made you want to say, you know what, let me, because cocaine wasn't really a big thing. It wasn't in South Central LA,
no,
in any part of it, in LA, in the
maybe Westwood.
But
Brentwood.
I saw Superfly. I saw Superfly, so I wanted to be Superfly.
So you were like, yo, if Priest can do it, I can do it.
Man, I didn't know if I could do it as good as Priest did it, but.
So what made you? So once you saw that, what made you just say, you know what, I can bring this into making something. I can make it pop.
Well, you know when and I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking about all the things that I've been through. You know, playing tennis. Like we played the city championship game. We had to go through the back door, LA Tennis Club. You know, so I'm like, man, these people ain't never wanted us to have none of the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably like going through the back door. So one year we all agreed, the whole team agreed, we gonna walk through the front door. We just bogart our way in. You know what I'm saying? They gonna have to throw us out. So we just bogarted through the front door, and when I got a hold of cocaine, I felt the same way. Like, I'm bogarting my way in, man. And I'm gonna be doing this for not only myself but for the whole world. And that's the way I went.
You were going to bring like a high quality, something that you thought was high quality and wasn't meant for you.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking when I got involved. I never thought about addicts, you know, being sprung out. Because at the time, there wasn't nobody sprung out. You know what I'm saying?
Cocaine, it was a rich drug. It was what
the
wealthy
entertainers.
businessmen was.
And when I first started, my customers was lawyers, doctors, guys who worked out at Todd Shipyard. You know, they were making in $80,000 a week, and postmen, and you know, it wasn't the normal everyday customer. You know, all the guys who came to see me were Cadillacs, and you know, they were rolling. So it really threw me for kind of like a loop, because it didn't appear to be what it really was.
So your buddy Mike, he kind of introduced you to it, but it wasn't until not that you met, but you went back back and spoke to your high school, was it your shop teacher?
Yeah, Mr. Fisher.
So he actually put you on to
To
the
the
actual
Nicaraguan.
Okay.
To the first Nicaraguan connection I made at his house, and it just went from there, you know. From one to the next. You know, Mr. Fisher was using, so he wasn't a businessman. He didn't have making money on his mind.
So that connection was wasted on you.
He was wasting the connection, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The connection was tired of him. And, you know, he probably owed him money, so he probably was paying them by bringing me and them together. You know, like people would do that if they got a debt. You know, they say, "Oh, well, you know what? I owe you, but this is my client. You and him do business, and that'll take care of my debt."
We'll make it up on the back end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So something like that took place, I believe.
So, but he kind of put you onto the actual game itself, right, and how it worked, and how, you know, just how what to look out for.
No, he just basically, his main thing that he did was gave me the connection. I learned as I went, you know, step by step. This person would teach me that. One person taught me how to cook it up. Another person taught me how they would steal from you. One taught me don't go out at night with no shoes on, getting in the car, and then if somebody walk up on you with a woman, don't stop and talk to them. They threw a pistol in my face.
Oh shit!
Told me to get in the car. So you know, you learn as you go. Like I said, there wasn't any book that I could pick up.
A pamphlet to
Yeah, nobody took me by the hand and walked me through it. It was kind of like a trial and error situation. You know, as I went, I learned and I built as I went.
So this connection that you made was this first connection Blandone, the Danilo Blandone connection?
My first connection was with a guy named Henry.
Henry.
And then Ivan came in. Ivan just passed last year. Matter of fact, rest in peace. He got paralyzed.
He got shot right by
He got shot by his wife, and that was my man. Ivan stayed true to the game. He was a trooper all the way, man. Even in his dying bed, he was like, "Man, kill Danilo." Neck down, and he was like, "Man, kill him." You know, like, I dare you do that. You know, just he was just a trooper, man. And I had mad love for Ivan. It was sad that he had got paralyzed.
You don't meet too many people like that, because that's one of the biggest things to me is just reading your life and like interviews and just knowing about you just before, you know, books and before the internet and just knowing the name. You were always a stand-up dude, like straight up.
You gotta be, man. I mean, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah.
And so it's you know, to me it was like, it fucked me up when I'm thinking like, yo man, Rick seems like such a stand-up dude. How did he get up? Like, how did he maneuver in a world full of people that at some point they're gonna turn on you? Because it's not gonna be, it'll never be me. It's gonna be him.
Right.
And like there's the old adage, you know, there's no honor amongst thieves. And
Yeah,
you were around, you know, people that stole, sold drugs, killed, so
Gangbang.
everything.
Yeah.
So how were you able to kind of maneuver and still wrap your head, you know, like how were you able to do
Well,
that?
I never really got caught up in the money situation. You know, I made a lot of money. Don't get me twisted. But money wasn't my main objective. You know, I found out later on that I had other objectives into. When I first started, you know, I wanted to get that paint job. But what wound up happening is that I got so good that the best two painters in the city worked in my body shop.
Oh shit.
You know, but I wasn't just doing it just for the money. It became like a passion of being great, of being successful. That became my motivation, and not just, oh, I'm gonna make me some money, you know, I'm gonna have some money. And what I found out is I use that same passion in everything that I do.
It's almost like an obsession, right? You want to be the best
Yes.
at everything that you want to
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. When I started learning, when I started reading and writing, then I went at it the same way. You know, I wanted to read. I wanted to be a great reader. I wanted to be a philosopher. I wanted to be able to go in the courtroom and dictate the law the way that I felt it should be dictated. And you can't do that when you're doing it for money.
Right.
You know, if you're doing it for money, it's like once you get some money, you know, you're done. You gotta really have this drive, this obsession with whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish.
And you did a lot of that, right? Just looking at tennis, you know, I read a story how you got into racing at some point. You just want to be the best. You want to be the fastest motherfucker out there. You know what I mean? And cars, low riding.
Yep. That's why I mess with the best. You know, when I had my motorcycle, I messed with Vance and Hines.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the best people that I could find in the motorcycle business. And that's pretty much the way I do my life right now. I'm constantly looking for the best people to surround myself with, the best people to be around, the best people to mold myself after. Because, you know, I found out that, you know, we always tell people, oh, don't be like nobody. Well, I changed my theory on that. Be like somebody you want to be like.
Model yourself after.
Yeah, model after somebody that you want to model yourself after. Don't let people mold you into being what they want you to be.
Yeah.
So I use those skills right now, man, and you know, and it just helps.
Yeah. And you know what? You even use those skills to grow this empire initially, because you started going out to all the kind of top level dealers in the area. You try to kind of just bring them all together under one, right?
Yeah, I got lucky and figured that out.
But see, that's the thing, and that's kind of what Vic was talking about earlier, which is you already have this like innate ability to be a leader, and you have this business acumen without even having the proper training. Like for you to just say, let me get all these motherfuckers that just up here, and let me all bring them in together and put them under one.
Well, that was an accident, right? Honcho, he didn't like me putting his name in the book either. He called me about it when the book came out. But I asked him, we was in prison, I was like, hey man, I'm writing my book. I'm gonna change your name to something else. He was like, no, put my name in there.
Let them know.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know who Honcho is, but you know, he was one of those low riders when I first started. And we was having a party one night, and we had some words with him, and I had my pistol on me, so I put my pistol on. I man, we ain't fighting you, man. He's a big old dude. And I said, man, we ain't fighting you, man. He said, oh, y'all put a pistol on me? So he come back with the whole box. It was Grape Street down, man. It was purple everywhere, right? So nothing happened that night, and the next time I see him, I'm at the skating ring. It's all in the book, so you know when you get the book, it's there. And he got a couple guys with him. Matter of fact, one of his cousins, Chuck, me and Chuck wound up being very, very tight later on in life. Chuck got killed after he got out doing 20 years. He got killed at the Happy House. But anyway, we at the skating ring. I'm thinking I'm gonna get beat down. I ain't got no pistol with me. I got caught in the back of the skating ring at the snap board. And four dudes walk in, you know, like I know they'll do whatever he tell them to do, you know. So I was terrified. But anyway, they didn't whoop me, and he started smiling like, "Oh, little homie, I heard you doing real good for yourself." I said, I am.
You're okay for myself.
And guess what? Come by the house tomorrow. I got something for you. So he came by and I threw him a little something, and he just started yelling. And I was like, damn, you know, Big Puddin', and you know, Tyree, and you know this one, and you know that one. Why not go holler at them too? And that's really how that started, man. It was just like a stroke of luck that I discovered.
You were just like, this dude.
Yes, after that.
Yeah, you can sell weed, you can sell cocaine, you can sell PCP, sherm stick, whatever it is that you got, you can sell this to it. And just reading that again, you know, whether it was by sheer luck or just you yourself putting that out there, you were able to get all these.
One roof, you must be dealing in lots of weight at this point, right? To be able to supply that much.
Yeah. Well, we started small. You know, at one time, an ounce of cocaine in LA was like a humongous amount. You know, at one time, believe it or not, man, you used to could make close to $9,000 off an ounce of cocaine. Jesus. That's how expensive it is. You know, the war on drug was a failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it went from
Is a failure.
It's a failure.
yeah, it went
Continuing.
It went from making 9,000 off of an ounce to now you can buy an ounce for $300. You know, so that's a testament of that it's more prevalent than it ever was. And I go by, if you're going to buy report cards, you got to say, well, your report card, you're a felon. Because you haven't dried it up. You know, it's still plentiful, it's still cheap. So you didn't do your job. But yeah.
So, you know, one other thing is, so, you know, obviously you kind of start building this empire, and you start kind of talking about these dirty cops in LA, not necessarily the LAPD, but more specifically the sheriff's department, right? Can you talk a little bit about that, how they were just on you?
Oh yeah, man. Well, you know, when you start picking up that money, you start picking up the garbage too. You know? so anyway, I guess first time I heard about it was these cops have been planting drugs and stealing money from my people, right? And, I go talk to my lawyer, I'm like, man, you just keep planting drugs on my people. My people ain't have no drugs in that house. How do you know you didn't have any drugs in there? You don't know. These cops are good cops.
Yeah.
I said, man, they ain't no good cops. I'm telling you. They planted drugs in my girl house. I know she ain't had no drugs in her house. I ain't never took no drugs. But they were saying, I brought the drugs. I ain't never took no drugs. I won't bring drugs in her house.
Yeah.
So he said, oh, well, if you believe in crooked, you're the high investigator. I said, high investigator? Good idea. And that's what I did, I hired an investigator. And that's really probably one of the reasons that I'm on the street right now today. Because had they went with everything this cop said, I would be buried in jail right now. So I hired an investigator named, I think his name was Frenchie. You know, I spent quite a bit of money, you know, having Frenchie go around. He followed the cops everywhere. One day he called me up, he said, hey, you know, those cops are in the Freeway Task Force. And I was like, what? The Freeway Task Force?
Wow.
He said, yeah, oh yeah, it was assembly to get you. To get me?
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, even though, you know, I'm moving $1 million, $3 million a day sometimes.
Jeez.
But I still don't know how big I am.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Because I got this little tight-knit circle, you know, of guys that I deal with, and that's all I deal with. You know, I really didn't go outside to the clubs and hang out with the girls and everybody, you know, taking the pictures.
You got your head down pushing work.
Yeah. So I'm like, nobody know me. Until I go to jail, and then I'm in jail, and these guys are sitting in the cell, and they talking about me, and I'm like, they talking about me, and I'm sitting right here, and they don't even know who I am, but they're telling people that they've been in my house. So it was like crazy. Now I started to understand the magnitude of what I did and how big I got.
Yeah, and that was kind of one of the things that also kind of helped you get out of jail, because they didn't know what you really looked like or who you were, right?
Yeah, well, see, these cops got so zealous, I guess, I think that's the correct word, where they couldn't wait. You know, they couldn't do their homework. They wanted me right now. I want it right now.
They were doing whatever it took.
And what they didn't realize is that you wasn't going to catch me with any drugs.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't handling drugs anymore. You know, all I probably did, the most I probably did was like, would meet with my guys and tell them what was supposed to take place, and then I would call them and say, hey, I need 50,000, I need 100,000. Bring it over here, and they would just bring me the money. So while they were trying to catch me with drugs, they were going about it the wrong way. What they needed to do was do a real thorough investigation, and they may have came up with the evidence that they needed.
Mm-hmm.
But by them not doing that, they started to plant the drugs and fabricate evidence, and you know, a lie is a lie, and eventually it's gonna come out that it was a lie. And with Frenchie, you know, on their heels, you know, Frenchie was over their heels, and we wound up getting like 150 guys got out of prison behind. The Rampart was a fallout from the Freeway Task Force.
Wow.
Yeah, those are guys who didn't get indicted.
That
on the freeway.
continued
They took the recipe.
Shit.
They took the recipe and went to other places.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, the Freeway Task Force, like 35 cops got laid off the job, and a couple went to prison. You know, civil rights
Yeah.
violation, and stealing, and lying on search warrants, and
Beating and shooting for no reason, and you know, one of the stories.
and shot at.
Yeah, I know.
And shot at.
And one of the stories you tell was that you got out because I guess they tried to plant some drugs on you, saying that you had like a key or a couple keys on you somehow and a pistol, and the judge was basically like, "You mean to tell me that the biggest drug kingpin in LA was just rolling around with a key?"
That was a good one there. It was 2 keys. No, what happened? He said, I wasn't even coming to South Central that much anymore.
Yeah.
One night I was coming through and all the homies was at my tire shop, and it was gambling. You know, I could see the crowd and they all shooting dice, and kicking it and drinking and partying, and you know, I hadn't seen them in a minute. So, and I was kind of laying low because the cops had been like putting a lot of pressure on me. So I said, man, I ain't seen the homie. Let me go holler at him. So I go in, and when I get ready to leave, the whole crap game like break up. And so everybody walks me to the car, like 20, 30 people. So when the cop testifies that he sees all of these people walking with me to the car, he also testifies that even though I'm with all these people, I'm the one carrying the drugs. And so the judge is like, now he's riding with 2 dudes, and neither one of these are his underlings, and neither one of them were carrying a gun and the drugs. He had the gun and the drugs. The judge told him, said, go ahead. Continue. I want to hear more. But anyway, that was the same judge that wound up throwing the case out. But he didn't throw it out behind that. He threw it out behind the tape that they had secretly made while I was in prison. So that tape was the smoking gun.
The tape about where they were basically talking about your lawyer.
Yeah.
And
the judge was on the take, and my lawyer thought he was going to get my bail lowered, and just all kind of just nonsense, and you know how powerful they was, and the judge didn't like it.
You know, it's crazy. You know, we talk about it all the time, right? Just the things that other people don't see with the LAPD, the sheriff's department. Just about any police in the surrounding cities, Pasadena, LA, you know, and no one believes it. And this was happening back then, and you kind of again get off on these technicalities based on how bad they were. It was yeah, well, they are exactly.
Some of them still bad, man.
Some of them, yeah, just as bad.
We was just
they don't come to light.
I was listening to the news the other day, and they got a group in Compton that has tattoos. All of them have the same tattoos on. You know, it's like a clique, I think is what they call them, a clique, whatever that means. But like anybody else, they're only human. You know, will a human being lie to get ahead? Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Will they cheat to get ahead? Yes.
Yeah.
So you know, when we look at cops, we got to look at them as human beings. You know, will a guy who's done all kind of stuff take a job as a cop? Probably so, if he can get away with it. You know. So when we look at it, we have to look at it in that light that they're only humans, and there's nobody that hasn't seen them.
Right.
Sure.
So when did you actually meet Danilo Blanco? So you met Henry, you got that connect, but it wasn't really until you met Danilo that you started getting better prices. So how did you actually?
We was doing pretty good with Henry and Ivan, though.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Henry and Ivan could carry their own. When Ivan got paralyzed is when we wound up meeting Danilo, because Henry was scared, and he was a drunk too. Now Ivan was a businessman, and he held it together. But once he got paralyzed, Henry sold me to Danilo.
Wow.
And he sold Danilo to me.
So he charged both of y'all to
He charged both of us. He charged me $60,000, and he charged him $60,000 for us to be brought together. So you know, once I got with Danilo, you know, things really started rocking and rolling. He got us in a position that we probably would have got in with Ivan, and Ivan not got paralyzed.
Okay. Because the connect was still the same, right? It was still
same connect,
okay.
yeah, same. Well, Ivan was getting it from Danilo too.
Okay.
But Ivan would have taken care of his business a little better than Henry was. So it was during that time